Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and lacrosse fans. We are here at Footscray Lacrosse Club for the opening night and opening round of the 2021 State League Men's Lacrosse season here for Lacrosse Victoria. Footscray are hosting, and got the live stream for you. So if you've been missing lacrosse in the last almost 600 days since we had it last in the club competition, welcome back. And looking at the warm-ups now with the sides out there, neither side's looking too rusty, so should be a good game, and promises a fierce competition between these two clubs. Captain's just out at the centre now. Referees just, I assume, explaining the rules to them again in case they've forgotten. Lucas Parsons Quintiao for Footscray, and then Troy Butson and Sean Clark for Williamstown. Troy Butson, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Troy. As for other players, I'm not sure about when their birthdays are. All right, before the game starts, we will be having a national anthem sung by Billy.
Yep, that's
Carolyn
correct.
Vandenberg. Yep. And we'll be having a minute's silence as well, including the national anthem. So a bit more formality than is standard for a club game. And I'm joined here by Footscray's favourite son, I assume. Are you Footscray's favourite son?
There's probably a few that would beat me to that title, I think, Tim, but I can claim it for now if we'd like.
Perfect. For the purpose of this stream, it is I, the mysterious Tim Dobson, and Footscray's favourite son here, looking after you with the lacrosse sounds. Oh, sorry, I should mention as well, Footscray's favourite son, Lachlan Williams. So both sides still just warming up as we've just got the centre of the field in view. Lineups for both teams. We have for Footscray first, between the pipes, Chris Miles, number 4. And then numerical order from there, we've got number 1, Tim Lane, number 2, Hayden Parsons, number 8, Robbie Buckhorn, number 9, Peter Quass, number 11, Aaron Aldred, number 12, Chris Plum, number 14, Tom Mollison. Number 15, Jordan Aldred. Number 24, Lucas Parsons Quintiao. Number 27, Mike DiNapoli. And number 44 is Jeff Melsop. And number 51 is Liam Gillies for the Bulldogs in the green. Williamstown in the navy blue. Number 1, Troy Butson. Number 2, Hugh Wilson. Number 4, Ron Gavori. Number 5, Josh Ardossi. Number 6, Evan the Wombat Willis. Number 7 is Ed Pike. Number 8, Harry Gibson. Number 9, Sean Clark. Number 10 is Tom Pike. Number 13, Alex Pike. Number 14, Brock Gourlay. Number 15, Lockie Russell. Number 17, Shay Moat. And number 18, Flynn Hogan. So a full 16 for Williamstown, 13 for Footscray. And the last time these teams matched up was the 2019 grand final, I believe. And some exciting news for Footscray. It is number 12, Chris Plum's first game back after an injury in 2018. Sidelined him, obviously last year with no season. It's been a long break for the most recent Australian captain, and a big boon for Footscray having him back for tonight's game. I was lucky enough to play alongside the Footscray side in a game against Williamstown in the 6v6 in the pre-season. Again, both sides looking pretty sharp, and Plum doesn't seem to have missed a beat. So again, a big gain for Footscray to have him back. And then the first test of the regular season competition for Chris Miles between the pipes for Footscray as well. So will be interesting to see how number 4 copes with the firepower that Williamstown bring to every game. Teams are just coming out to the centre now, and we will be having our national anthem and getting underway from there. So I'll go quiet for a moment now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome State League season, and it's been a long wait for this match to occur. We'd like to welcome the Williamstown Lacrosse Club and thank the Footscray Club for hosting this double-header match. It's been a long time since we've played our game, and we are so looking forward to playing this match tonight. My name's Michael Sholly, I'm General Manager of Lacrosse Victoria, and on behalf of Jess and our board, we welcome you to this match. I'd ask everyone to please to stand and to take their headwear off as we listen to Billy sing our national anthem. Whilst you're all standing, we'd like to have a 1 minute silence for all those who've departed since our last game in 2019, with special mention to Sue Spanos, a legendary Australian, Victorian and Newport Lacrosse player. So I'd ask to bow your head for 1 minute silence. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I didn't realise you were Europe.
Right, Tim, I'm back.
Hey Josh, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't give it to someone when they say doesn't throw, because they'll throw it as far as they can throw it.
Alrighty, just making some adjustments here as we get ready for the game to begin, making sure we've got things ready and sorted for the start of the game. Both sides just having a pass around as they've done most of a warm-up and then had to stop for Anthem and moment's silence. And back now. All right, you can see on your screens now the team lists for both sides. As mentioned before, first up Footscray, the host, and then Williamstown Lacrosse Club. What are you looking forward to seeing tonight in the game, Lachlan?
Well, I guess the probably generic answer is it's just great to see lacrosse back in general. But look, there's plenty of young players out there. I think that's probably the most exciting thing about the game. I know from a Footscray perspective, there's a debutant in Liam Gillies out there. He'd been selected. I think he'd been picked for 2 under-18 Victorian sides, and unfortunately didn't get to play neither of them. So he'll get a run out there tonight, as well as there's some really talented Williamstown juniors, as there always is. And another one for you, Tim. It's coming from the goalkeeper brigade. One Chris Miles, monster to those that might know him. He's swapped the long stick for the goalie stick, and he's jumping in the cage for Footscray tonight. Have you seen much of him in the cage, Tim? Or?
I did. I was lucky enough to see a little bit in the 6v6 comp. As I mentioned before, I was lucky enough to jump in goals for Footscray as well in one of those games. But they upgraded or side graded or whichever one it was, and Monster has jumped in. And definitely a big team move. I think going from long pole to goalie. I think there's not many players who would be willing to start their goalkeeping career in the State League men's competition here in Victoria. But yeah, Chris has done it. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares. And I think we'll definitely expect to see the Footscray defence try to limit the looks Williamstown are getting in terms of their doorstop shots. They're keen to get to the crease whenever possible and have those in close finishes. When you've got a goalie with a little less experience at this high level, it's important to make sure they're giving Chris the looks he wants to see, whether that's outside or, low-angle shots as much as possible. But we'll see how those adjustments go, and it's obviously going to be something that through the season we'll see plenty of as well. So
sure.
It's an interesting one. At the opposite end, Evan Willis has been playing between the pipes for Williamstown for as long as I've been involved in lacrosse. So it's a battle of the new and the experienced.
Yep. So you asked me, Tim, what was exciting me the most about tonight. What about yourself? What catches your eye?
I think for me it'll be interesting to see a fairly experienced defensive unit of Buckhorn, Lane and Aldred for Footscray going up against the under-19 Aussie firepower that Williamstown boasts. They've got a large contingent of Aussie under-19 players, and again, having seen them in some competitions and played against them, having them shooting on me, they have some pretty dynamic scoring options out there. So it'll be interesting to see how those matchups go and whether the size and experience of the Footscray defence line will match up well against the youthful exuberance of the Williamstown side. And obviously the generic but correct response is, it's just good lacrosse is back. Alrighty, referees are out and getting into position. Looks like we're about to have the starting lineups, or the lineups for both sides prior to the game. Footscray out on the pitch first, headed up by Lucas Parsons-Quintier, the young captain for Footscray, on a side with a lot of experienced players there.
A little bit of inexperience out there from Lucas. I think has he run out the wrong way, or he's just not giving himself a little bit?
He appears to have come straight out the middle. Normally you do a bit of a snake thing where you head sideways first. Troy Buston just giving a quick demo on how to run out onto the field. But those are the things you've got to learn in your when you're captaining as a debut captain.
That's it. Well, it's a long season. I'm sure he'll pick it up as we go along.
Absolutely. And both sides out now. Referees will just remind them. I think they normally say play for the ball, play to the whistle, and just, how far away they need to be when the restart goes. And then after all those players get reminded for the 4,675th time, those factors, they'll be ready to have goalies shake hands and play will be underway. Our officials tonight on the right-hand side of screen, if you can see him, is Steve Green. And then to the left, we've got Razzle Dazzle Darren Fanner and Danny Whitbourne in the zebra stripes tonight. Those three will be looking after that for the refereeing portion of the evening. And after this game tonight, we are lucky enough to also have the opening game of Women's State League for the Lacrosse Victoria season, where Footscray will be hosting Newport in another grand final rematch. Footscray coming out with the win in 2019, and they're picking up right where they left off on this slightly chilly April night here in Footscray.
Now, what are your thoughts on this face-up matchup? This is probably another one we will be talking about a fair bit tonight, Tim. It's a pretty handy matchup, Sean Clark against Aaron Aldred.
It's an interesting one. They're definitely at different ends of the size scale, but it's one where some players in the face-off can use that to an advantage. Some of them neutralise it fairly well. Clark has spent his career going up against guys who may have him on height, but in terms of his just sort of ability to get the quick clamp and then escape, as we're seeing a bit of now, is almost unrivaled. Aldra doing a great job there with the loose ball to scoop it away to safety as Clark was held up by Chris Plum. Plum, a captain of the 2018 Australian side. Clark, a captain of the 2016 Australian under-19 side. Both have had their runs in the green and gold. And Mike DiNapoli with the yellow lid out there, held the ball. And Footscray looking to settle now after a quick skirmish at the net. And they'll get into some 6-on-6 settled offense for the first time this season.
Now we've got a new coach at Footscray, Tim. We've got Chris Marsh on board, so he's had a busy off-season implementing some things. We see some great moves from Chris Plum there. So it'll be interesting to see what he puts into effect out there for the boys in green tonight.
Absolutely. Always interesting when you're coming into an established and successful team, whether you're looking to make changes or whether you're looking to sort of hold the course. But it'll be interesting to see what Marshy looks to run as Willis makes the bounce pass to Troy Butson after an attack on goal from Chris Plum was turned away. Pass off the target there. Harry Gibson couldn't connect on that one, and Footscray are going to get the ball back now. Harry Gibson's older brother Cal is currently over in the States playing at Coker University. He recently set the school record for goals in a game with 11 as Coker put 27 away on Mars Hill. And Coker is a program lucky to have Cal out there. A few Australians at Coker. And good start to your freshman year getting 11 goals. Harry Gibson looking to fill in the Gibson goal sheet while big brother Cal is away. Mike DiNapoli gets that one as it rolls downfield. He's being chased by Lachlan Russell, and DiNapoli, a little bit of dip and dunk, gets it over the shoulder of Evan Willis, unassisted. First possession, it's been pretty back and forward, and it definitely seems like Footscray have done a good job in terms of just scrappy play on ground balls early on. Both sides forcing some loose balls, but Footscray able to capitalise early on.
I think one of the things we just saw as well there, Tim, and Footscray might be relying on it throughout the season, is Chris Miles has played for 15 years as an outfield player. He's calm in possession with the ball, isn't he? And we could just see that there, getting the ball out of the back half.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not learning a clear. He's just in a new spot on the same clear he's been running for however many years. So that's probably one advantage in that same unit that he knows. As we see, Jeff Melsop has lost his stick to a breakage. He has to run off the field. Not allowed to stay on the field with illegal equipment, and that includes a broken stick you've left behind. So he'll be off to get a replacement as Williamstown possess. Pike up top with the ball. Behind now, Ed Pike. No relation there. There are 3 Pikes on the field for Williamstown. 2 brothers, Alex and Tom, and then Edison Pike. The young gun who couldn't get that one to go, shot just wide of the net, and I'm sure all the coaches at home will be saying, turn your hips towards the goal on that one. But he had some pepper on it, so definitely got the power there. Just couldn't quite get it on target. But there was a flag on the play, and Williamstown will go man up for the first time this evening. Gibson up top with the ball, sends it on to Josh Adossi. Pike up top with it. Skip pass through the middle, back up to Gibson as they look to stretch out of a 3-3. Gibson looks with a step down, decides against it. Adossi with a bit of a volleyball set on that one. Almost at no point had the ball fully in his stick as he sort of just swatted it back. And the extra man expires. We go back to 6-on-6. And Footscray really extending out on that zone, not looking to let anything too close in terms of shots go. Again, sort of as I was expecting may be the case. It'll be interesting to see how Williamstown can go against that rangy zone defence. Ball's up top now with Gibson. Pike and back. Pick there across the top, looking for a sweep. No real advantage in terms of range to goal. Just the sweep there. Adossi now with it. We've got a loose stick on the field. Flag may have been thrown. Hard to see if it has. No flag on that one as Pike rips the lefty wide of the mark, but backed up by Ed Pike. Gibson again with it. He's had a lot of the ball for Williamstown so far. So Darren Tinker Gibson is the coach for Williamstown, facing off against Chris Marsh, the Footscray coach. Gibson again sends it down low, across the back now. Good ball movement, but again, no inside looks yet for Williamstown as Footscray are keeping them at their distance. Hand off there to Gibson. Down the lane now. Can he get inside? The double comes. He loses the stick. Whitbourne looked like he was going to throw a flag on that one. Didn't in the end. Ball out wide now again. Williamstown with a long possession here. Skip pass through to Adossi. He got a piece of it. Couldn't hold on to it though. And Millsop gets the knockdown. Plum now on the run. Sends it to DiNapoli. DiNapoli sends that one high and wide of the mark, but had time and room. Just couldn't quite connect on that one. Backed up now by the green. Parsons on to Aaron Aldred now. Back with DiNapoli. Up to Aldred again. Plum in possession here. He's got a short stick matchup, which he's going to like. It's not the way I'd be trying to guard Plum, who loves a swim dodge against a shorty. Pete Quast, low angle shot there, hit possibly Willis's helmet, but bounced high and wide, collected by Aaron Aldred. He gets it on to Hayden Parsons. Parsons looks at the goal. He's guarded there by Lachlan Russell, who manages to knock the ball loose, although it's a 2-on-1 for the ground ball. Russell kicks it loose, but Aldred's there to try and collect it. The face-off player for Footscray, good on the ground ball. Cannot get that one, though, out of his stick in the direction he wanted it to go. He soared that one high into the sky. And Williamstown back in possession now. Evan Willis with the ball. Sends it infield. Footscray riding hard there, although Peter Quast has been called for the slash on that one. A rather innocuous looking hit, but the call will be because it was the hand not attached to the stick. So even if it's not much of a whack, if the hand is not on the stick, you're not allowed to make that check. Which bit of annoyance for Footscray early on, but they will go man down again as Williamstown will look to capitalise on a 6-on-5 opportunity here. Ball's up top now. Sean Clark at the middle. Slight change there to the man-up unit for Williamstown. Harry Gibson out up top, Sean Clark in. Still in that 3-3 though. Really just looking to stretch the corners here. The middleman hasn't seen much in terms of attention from the attack. Liam Clark sends that one behind, looking to feed the crease there, and it is Josh Adossi getting the ball from Ed Pike. And Williamstown level the scoring there. Just as I was saying, the middleman hasn't seen much attention there. The sweep across the top from Sean Clark seems to draw some attention. And as eyes were going high and wide, Adossi just popped up on the crease. Quick little take it and make it goal. Didn't have much time of possession and just put it away. It's like Ron Gavori taking the face-off now against Aaron Aldred. as the scores are level at 1 apiece. Penalty expired there. If you saw Lucas Parsons charging downfield off the bench as even strength prior to the whistle, you can have that sub during the dead ball. If the whistle goes, though, rules apply in the face-off. So until possession is gained, no one's allowed to come off the bench, just as they are not allowed to come out of their respective restraining lines. Williamstown in possession here, and ball is behind with Josh Adossi. Bounce pass, could have been accidental, hard to say. Let's assume it was accidental there, but collected by Gibson, and Williamstown still with the ball. From behind, it's Liam Clark, guarded away. Tim Lane sending him out wide there. Butson now with the ball. He's got Millsop on him. Butson, good release on the run if he can get his hands free. Millsop doing a good job there, tying him up though. His shot knocked wide of the mark, or possibly just bumped while still in his stick. But Williamstown back with the ball now on the shot. Butson again up top with it. Ball's behind now with Ed Pike up top. Harry Gibson again with it onto Butson. Was Will Olver, number 19 on the near side, who just had the ball as it's swung back around. Ed Pike with it again now. Pike looks to drive the corner, sends it up high. Gibson now with it. Big split dodge. Steps away though, guarded closely by Aaron Aldred, who did a good job keeping up with that one on the change of direction. Liam Gillies up top, just saw the ball as it's back behind now with Liam Clark for Williamstown. Knocked down on the inside there, and ball is picked up by number 2, Hayden Parsons. Sends it upfield looking for number 15, Jordan Aldred. Couldn't get it clean at first, but manages to now. Millsop with the ball. Rolls it back for Miles, and Footscray will look to settle on the clear.
I think Footscray would be pretty happy with that defensive set there, Tim. With a couple of short sticks in Hayden Parsons and Aaron Aldred out there, not necessarily the first pick, the first line, they'd be pretty happy with how they played that one out.
Absolutely. Doing a good job forcing Williamstown to earn their looks. They're not giving away anything easy at the moment. And it's
just as we say that, they've turned it over, clearing the ball. So,
well, they probably tuck it out after that good stretching defense we were just talking about.
Exactly.
Ed Pike with the ball behind. And again, after over a year out from regular season play, it's fair enough we've seen a few little hiccups from both sides, although overall it's looking very competitive with a pretty run and gun style from Footscray, and then Williamstown really looking to slice and dice in the settled offense. Ball's up top on the far side with Sean Clark, sends it back to Alex Pike. And on the far side, as ball heads back across, Chris Plum face guarding there as Pike looks for the lefty drive. Bounce shot high of the mark. Field in excellent nick, but that bounce just a little bit firm off the ground. And wide of the mark. Backed up again by Williamstown. And it's number 19, Will Olver with the ball. Shoots, and we've got a flag on the play as Tim Lane gets the call against him. Illegal body is the call there. Lane will head off. Lane playing with a short pole there. Bit of a change up. Yeah. Traditionally a long pole is Tim Lane. Maybe part of a defensive adjustment though. May have just handed off his stick. I didn't see what he was doing there. We've had another flag on the play here as Williamstown possess as Mike DiNapoli headed into defence. I imagine it's going to be an illegal substitution, although as it was behind play I was only paying it a little bit of attention. Clark there with it, sends it on to Olver again. Down low now for Liam Clark. Behind is Ed Pike. Ed Pike looks to Clark, feeds just wide of the mark there, shooting low and away. Great job getting Clark open there with his hands free on that one. Couldn't capitalise though, as that one bounced just wide of the mark. referees coming in to discuss. It was Darren Fanner who threw the flag, the trailing referee. And he's just going to explain now what's going on exactly. Again, based on the timing, I'm assuming it was an illegal substitution coming out of that man down where Footscray started in a 4-man zone, although they only needed to be in 5. Not sure exactly what's happened from there, though. All right, the flag is cancelled there, so whatever was discussed has been sorted out now. So play continues. Williamstown with the shot back up. They get it at the end line, and we're back in action now. Over there, down to Liam Clark behind. Ed Pike with it now, looking to feed the crease. Couldn't get it to go. We've got a hand raised, though. Crease violation is the call. It's an attacking player has hit the crease line. If you've just scored on the play, it's all right to hit it. But if the ball has not gone in and it's still in play, the crease violation there causes the turnover. Footscray on the clear. Lucas Parsons, Quintiao is running like a madman on the clear there. Gets through traffic, though, after some hustle and bustle. Ball on the near side there, handled by Footscray. Up top to Mike DiNapoli. Far side of the field now. Hayden Parsons with it. Hands off to Lucas Parsons Quintiao. Down low to Peter Quass. Quass with strong lefty tendencies. Drives right on that one. Wide of the mark. Knocked down, but it's going to be regained by Lucas Parsons. Hugh Wilson coming all the way out to defend that one. Alrighty, we seem to be back now. Sorry we dropped out there. But we're back in action now. Footscray lead 2-1 after a goal from Lucas Parsons Quintiao. After the one-man run. He's got the ball again. Big lefty shot there. Couldn't get it on the mark. Getting the ball back in field there. All right, there we go. Back in play. Referees just trying to sort that one out. I think it was backed up faster than they expected. Didn't want to start play with 2 balls in the field. Ball knocked back to Aaron Aldred, who was trying to pass upfield to Chris Plum. DiNapoli handles now. Gets it to Quass. Quass, the worm burner, gets it to go. As DiNapoli finds Quass for the goal there. One goal and an assist now for DiNapoli. He opened the scoring for Footscray. And as Quass sticks that one on Evan Willis, Footscray lead 3-1.
So for all our viewers as well, we've got 30 seconds on the clock. That's not an exact time. That's sort of a ballpark of where we think we're at. Obviously, we're not the official timekeepers, so we'll wait and see how long's left.
Absolutely. Games on a 20-minute running time clock in a Victorian competition, but whenever the referees stop play, stop the clock, it's hard to know sometimes, as times can get a little bit out of whack. So that, again, just an approximation. Don't expect a buzzer beater according to this clock. Ball inside there. Plum gets it. Righty bouncer couldn't get it to go wide of the mark there, and Tom Mollison will start with the ball. Drive from behind as the bell sounds to end the first quarter there. And after 20 minutes of play, Footscray lead 3-1. We'll take a quick break and be back with second quarter action. Alrighty, and we are back, ready to start the second quarter. Again, Footscray leading 3-1 after the first quarter of play in the State League season here in Victoria. And we're back where we started. Sean Clark and Aaron Aldred in the centre. Williamstown have been able to win the face-off battle so far in the middle. Footscray obviously able to capitalise though on the scoreboard after some really long stints in defence. They've been pretty brisk in their scoring as Williamstown have had a lot of the possession early on. We've got an illegal procedure there called against Clark, and Footscray will get it from the centre now. Chris Plum will start with the ball as they begin play for the second quarter here. Far side, and it's Lucas Parsons Quintiao there. DiNapoli now on the far side with the ball. Sends it behind for Quass. Quass up the line there for Tom Mollison. On to Lucas, now to Plum. The handoff there for the big lefty shooter. Sends it back into the middle for Plum now. Ball's with Quass now. On to DiNapoli. Lucas Parsons Quintiao with the dodge there down the line. Can back himself on the right, but is a dominant lefty player. So on that sweep, if you're not seeing a feed down the line, expect a rollback before you see that big shot there from Lucas. Tom Mollison with the ball there. Has it knocked loose, but he's able to come back into possession as he's guarded and sent away wide. Brock Gourlay guarding him as DiNapoli holds the ball now. He's guarded by Lachlan Russell. Feed to the far side. Bounce shot, couldn't go. May have caught some pipe on that one as Hayden Parsons fired. Ball in the back corner now. And Quass has it. Sends it up the line out to Lucas Parsons Quintiao. On to Hayden Parsons now. Dodge down the line. He's guarded by Lachlan Russell. Williamstown really pushing out now with this defence as the pick catches up Lachlan Russell. We've got a flag on the play. Holds the call there, although it looked like Russell's stick was being held onto by the player on the ground. Not sure what the view was like from on the field, but big fake there from Peter Quass. Turns his defender away and then misses the goal wide on that shot. I don't think he expected to be as free as he was after that one. Shot backed up by Williamstown. I think Footscray were ready for that one either, as Troy Butson looks to go off to the races there. His pass meant to get him across the midline. Couldn't go though, as Flynn Hogan couldn't get the handle on that one. And Footscray back into attack now. Peter Quass with the ball.
I think it's probably important for Footscray to try and keep possession a little bit here, Tim. They played so much defence in that first quarter. Try and keep a little bit of the ball. Put the Williamstown defence to the sword a little bit here. Try and just possess and hit them with a little bit of their own medicine, I think.
Absolutely.
Although with some aggressive defence like this, it makes it difficult.
Yeah, it's a tough balance to make. Williamstown with a few extra players. I think two poles on the sideline from what I can see. They've got a little bit of extra depth, so the long, fast game will probably favour the Navy Blue, although Mike DiNapoli happy to put that one in the back of the net as he puts Footscray up by 3. Score is now 4-1. But again, in the long term, the balance of possession is going to be a factor there. So we've seen Footscray slow things down a little bit more of the 6v6 offense after the first quarter where they were really running and gunning. Williamstown trailing 4-1. Sean Clark will look to get them the ball in the middle. And then we may expect to see Williamstown's offense maybe pick up their pace a little bit. confusion there as Steve Green pointing in two different directions.
It's not often you see that. That's the second time Sean Clark's broken. So,
Yeah.
One of the premier face-off players in the country. It's maybe Aaron Aldridge just got into his head a little bit early in this match.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think face-offs are one of those positions where obviously you do a lot of reps in your own time, as a timeout is called there by Footscray. But I think if you're not getting that gameplay, obviously it's a little bit different jumping back into a game. Going to see some jitters from both sides. But yeah, Clark twice in a row now on the illegal procedure at the face-off. Footscray coach Chris Marsh calling the timeout there after they gain possession. Often a move you see from the trailing team. Although Marshy not afraid to take some air out of the ball and have a quick chat with the troops as they lead 4-1. Any surprises for you so far in the game, Lachlan?
Well, I think Williamstown, they possessed the ball a lot in that first quarter. They probably could have put Chris Miles to the test, and nothing against Chris, but new goalie under the Friday night lights. They probably could have tested him out a little bit more with that amount of possession, but yeah, I think Footscray's conversion has also been surprising as well. A lot of the time they've had the ball, it's 4 goals. They wouldn't have had the ball down there sort of more than 10 times, I would have thought. So that's quite good conversion at the moment. Whether they can keep that up in the sustainable, we'll wait and see. But yeah, I think Chris Marsh and the Footscray guys will be pretty happy with that right about now.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of efficiency of play, Footscray definitely doing well there. And yeah, Williamstown really slow to pull the trigger early on. I've been on the receiving end of some 60 and 70 shot games from Williamstown where they are firing at will. Really slowed things down a little bit for this first game back. But again, plenty of lacrosse left to play, and with possession as even as it is, I expect the scoreline to balance out a little bit. Although, with the way Footscray are going, it's hard to say at this point. DiNapoli with the ball now up to Plum at the top. Pass back to DiNapoli and dodge down the line there. Looking to feed down low for Tom Mollison. I think they were hoping for something on the inside. Couldn't get it to go though. Pass back from Plum to Parsons Quinty out onto DiNapoli. Almost a 3-man weave at the top there as DiNapoli sends in an absolute howitzer of a step down bouncer. And he has his hat-trick already as Footscray go up 5-1.
Fantastic. Nearly a reacquisition for Footscray. Mike DiNapoli, he originally from the United States, lived in Australia for a few years. Pre-COVID, had gone home. My understanding is that he'd intended to stay there for permanently or for at least an extended period of time. COVID hit and sort of shook things up a little bit, decided to move back to Australia, and you can see tonight he's having quite an impact. So for Footscray, they'd be pretty happy that he's here and not over in the States.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely made his presence felt early on. Plum got the double team there. Somehow still has the ball as he weaves through traffic. Sends it down low to DiNapoli. DiNapoli with the ball now. Guarded by Hogan. And Footscray back in possession again. Bit of a switch of roles from the first quarter to the second now. Williamstown possessed for most of the first quarter, although Footscray did most of the scoring there. Now it's Footscray with a lot of possession here. Williamstown haven't been able to get up into 6-on-6 and settle things down at that end. So just a little bit of rust still to shake off from Williamstown, but Footscray are looking to capitalise early on as that ball couldn't be held onto. Have a push behind, it looks like. I think it was rolling out. It looked like it was going to go Williamstown's way as Chris Plum goes for the big crease dive there. Couldn't get it to go. Ball on the far side. Looks like we've had a hit on the loose ball.
We've got a man down there, Tim. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you can see who that is. Could be Lucas Parsons Quinty.
Lucas Parsons Quinty. Yeah, just based on helmet colour, I think that's who is on the deck, and it looks like Lachlan Russell's been called to go off. We had a delayed call of a crease violation, which, based on possession, shouldn't have been a delayed call, so I'm not sure why play continued into that back corner, but if it is Parsons who's down, he looks like he's not in a good way as Chris Marsh runs onto the field Footscray boys standing around him there.
Just while he's down, I may as well pump him back up, Tim. He's so young Lucas, he'd probably be 23, 24. It's to be maybe his 5th or 6th season of State League now, and he's been named captain of the Footscray team, amongst a team that includes Tim Lane and Chris Plum and James Lorison when he's fit. So it's quite, an honour for himself to be named captain of this team, and sort of recognises where he's at as a player and his development. And as we've seen tonight, just an exciting young left-hander, bull of the gate type player, and he's as hard as you'll find him, Lucas Parsons Quintia. So hopefully he's okay here.
It's he's stayed down, although no sign there as Chris Marsh and Sally Plum look on, with the Footscray boys still around there. I didn't see the initial hit, but Lachlan Russell is sitting down at the on the penalty bench there, as looks like maybe some movement. Never a good moment, especially with a young player, and so obviously so early in the first game, to see someone go down like that. But hopefully he's all right. Just hard to know when you're on the far side of the field and can't see what's going on. Players moving apart now. It looks like they're heading in just to have a bit of an on-field talk, as I imagine they'll be looking to get Parsons Quintiao off the field in as best shape as possible. But, sides are coming together now. Not sure what the refs have called. My understanding is that a medical timeout such as this is not allowed to be used as a team timeout, but I'm not sure what the call has been. Maybe because it's extended, they may have just said hold game and let's have a chat, see what's going on. But again, hard to know. So both sides just in for a huddle now, and hopefully Lucas is all right.
So Tim, round 1 for State League this weekend. Who do you guys face up against tomorrow?
We've got Camberwell tomorrow down at Tropical Fleming Park.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. Obviously, you probably are. I would assume so. First game back in quite a while. So
yeah, it should be a good game, I hope. It'll be an interesting one. Brunswick has a crew of teachers who are all away for the school holidays in our State League side. So we're down a few players early, unfortunately. But I think with everything going on over the last year, and with I think a few debutants will be coming in for clubs all over the place. So hopefully it'll be a good game to get back into things. But again, it's been probably 600 days-ish since I've played a State League game. So I'm just keen to get back out there and hopefully make a save or two.
Yeah, for sure.
The regular season games start for other divisions outside of State League next weekend. So it's the State League opening round here now. So tonight is Footscray Williamstown, and followed by Footscray and Newport Ladies in the women's side of things. And then on Saturday, the rest of the men's comp will play Sunday, the women's side, rounding things out for State League. So Lucas still down in the corner. Chris Marsh heading upfield now to talk to the referees. I think they're not sure what's going on exactly, although the sides seem to have dispersed and just be standing in groups now. Teammates back on the sideline now with Lucas. And again, if it's been a hit to the head just with the helmet headgear you wear in lacrosse, it's a hard one to get off in a way that you can prevent any movement of the head and neck. So we'll see what's going on now as Steve Green heads this way. So hopefully we'll have an update in a second.
Ambulance has been called. The players can go to their rooms and do whatever. We'll do a 5-minute warm-up after that, and then we'll go again. So for the girls' game, it's going to be way later.
So we'll just wait for him to hang on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the plan at the moment is it's been a knock to the head from after the body check, hitting the back of his head as he hangs to the ground. Emergency services have been called, so they're on their way. Players are going to be sent back to their change rooms, or they can just stand in the cold if they'd like. There will then be a 5-minute warm-up following that break before play continues. So we don't have a start time yet. It will all be dependent on when Lucas is able to be collected, and then after that 5-minute warm-up. So just stay tuned. Keep watching the Footscray page. We will stop the stream now, and we will restart the stream during that 5-minute warm-up before play continues. The women's game obviously will be delayed now, but we don't have any times at the moment. We're just going to play things by ear as we hope Lucas is all right. So thank you for joining us for the first half, and we will be back with the rest of the second quarter during that 5-minute warm-up. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We are back now. We are partway through, or a bit of midway through the second quarter. We just had some technical issues following the medical timeout as Footscray in possession there. What you've missed is Tom Mollison scoring a goal almost the moment play restarted. Footscray were man up on that one. Ball went back the other way. Chris Miles made his first save of the night to keep it at 1 for Williamstown. Footscray have come back in. Couldn't get the ball to go as Evan Willis comes up with another save, and now it's Tim Lane on the clear for Footscray, and we rejoin play now. So, Tom Mollison back with the ball now as Footscray look to settle things down. Lucas Parsons Quintier was taken from the field and was moving arms and legs, so good signs there. Hopefully he is all right, and we wish him well as Hugh Wilson has the ball for Williamstown, sends it over. Nice take there by Pike. Reaching for the heavens on that one as Wilson's pass went a little bit high of the mark. Ed Pike now with the ball as Williamstown trail 6-1 in the second. Great check there from Jeff Melsop. Couldn't get the ball as Pike comes up with it for himself. Josh Adossi now with the ball. He's guarded closely, loses the ball and his stick. Bit of a bump there. So if you are not in possession of your stick, for those of you playing along at home, you are not allowed to be involved in the play in any way. So Adossi, that little bump there is enough to get Footscray the ball. Crossfield now for Tim Lane. Back in to Chris Miles in the middle now. Miles pass a little short of the mark. Ground ball unable to be picked up yet, and it's scooped up now. Gillies with the ball, has to get it across. He's got numbers ahead and behind, though, as he heads to the sideline. Big bump there, and they've gone. We've had a timeout called there. There you go. Timeout was called as Gillies cleared the midline. So the bump was following that. I think just a slow whistle there from the refs, but there we go. I think everyone on the sideline hopefully all right. And Footscray up 6-1 again as play continues.
Yeah, so just to fill everyone in, as Tim mentioned before, so we had an ambulance come and collect Lucas Parsons-Quintio after a head knock earlier. From what we've been told, it was a head knock on the ground, so no malice in it at all. He's been sent off to hospital in an ambulance with believe a concussion. As we know more, we'll let you guys know. Beloved member of Footscray, so and a great kid in general, so we'll be keeping a close eye on his well-being.
Alrighty, so play about to resume. It was Liam Gillies on the clear there. 51, did a great job getting the ground ball after the initial drop, but is back with it now. Chris Marsh calling the timely timeout to maintain possession as the bump came and the ball went out. So Footscray in attack now with possession. And Peter Quast is going to start with the ball on the near side. Ooh, pass off the mark, but Chris Plum plays it off his own chest to the ground and then scurries after the ground ball. Ball backside now with DiNapoli. Back up to Parsons. Hayden Parsons, that is. Quast with the ball now. Plum and Quast, a good partnership at the top there. Plum hands off. Quast with it now. Quast strong left-handed tendencies. He's guarded closely there by number 4, Ron Gavori. Also regained his feet. Bit of a stumble there after the first bump. And ball's with Parsons now. Back up top to Chris Plum. Loose ball in the middle now. Evan Willis goes to the ground after it. Comes up with it. Sends it out now for Hugh Wilson. Wilson with the ball. Looks to carry upfield himself. The long pole there. Sends it inside for Gavori. He's got numbers in front and behind of him. He hands off now to Will Olver, and Williamstown will look to settle things down in 6v6. Adossi now with the ball. Sends it up for Pike in the middle. Harry Gibson. Gibson back with it now. On to Pike again. To Olver, and now Adossi at the back. He's watched by number 15, Jordan Aldred. Ball's up top now with Gibson. Again, we've got to see some attack from Williamstown. They have been possessing quite a bit so far in this game. We just need to see them get it to the cooker, though. I think they just need someone to pull the trigger and maybe start some momentum for them. Bounce pass. Will be backed up, though, and kept in possession for Williamstown. Pike guarded by DiNapoli. Rolls back inside, lefty bouncer, high of the mark. Bounced well short on that one. Backed up by Williamstown. Ball's now with Ed Pike, number 7. Gavori now with it up top. Gets by Parsons. The double comes. He bumps wide, sends it down the line. Adossi with the ball. He is handy, even under pressure, if he can get himself into the right spot. Weaving through traffic there, looks to feed the crease, can't get it to go. Ball hits the deck. Looks like it's come off a Footscray stick after a bump. Hard to say, though. Gavori coming after it. Millsop is chasing him down the sideline. Bounce pass there, and it's going to be Olver, I think, who's picked it up. Yeah, that's... I believe it's over there. Pike up top now. On to Gibson. Back with Ed Pike now behind. Up to Gibson. He's got a short stick there for a matchup, as does Pike here. Pike can be dynamite from goal line extend if he gets his hands free, and he does there. Dodges the shorty. Gets his hands free top side just above goal line extended. He sneaks it by Chris Miles. Williamstown up to 2 now. They trail 6-2 as Footscray still in control of the scoreboard here in the second quarter.
that's probably the one that they need to start exploiting, Williamstown, I think, Tim, when the short stick defender is down there. They've got quality players all over the field, Ed Pike one of them. So if he can manipulate that situation and get those one-on-ones, that's how they're going to get back into this game, I think.
Absolutely. I think that short stick matchup there where even if the player's still on you, you can get your hands more free than when you've got the pole matchup on you. If even a contested shot, if they can test the waters against Chris Miles, they can definitely keep themselves in the game without having to just purely beat their player. So we'll see what happens there. Melsop picks that one out of the air and he's got the ball, looking to send it upfield now. Williamstown riding hard. Ed Pike knocks that one loose. Melsop comes up with it again, one-handed, rolls back downfield, and will look to maybe get it inside as Pike continues to chase after him. Rolling it upfield there. He gets it to Tom Mollison. Mollison has Gibson looking at him. And the clear successful as Tom Mollison comes in clutch for the green.
So with about 1 minute remaining, Footscray have used both timeouts. I'm pretty sure Williamstown still have two that they named, Tim, so not sure whether they're going to get a chance to use it, but that's where we're at with about a minute to go.
Yeah, I think Williamstown will probably be looking to just keep things going and just make it to the second half. I think a momentum swap at this point, is not necessarily, or a change or a stopping of momentum. I think it's probably going to be a hard one there. So I think either way, just wear it and get to the half and then regroup at half time as DiNapoli comes up with a ground ball after the loose ball. Just had a minute called from the bench, so we're not far off the game clock. Ball's behind now with Tom Mollison. Footscray may look to just hold for one rather than giving Williamstown the chance to re-attack. If they can hold the last possession and either just get a shot or end on a miss, they may go with it. Oh, Chris Plum was looking for the behind-the-back fake, couldn't get it to go. Buckhorn gets the loose ball to him. He has it knocked loose, but manages to get it back to Plum. Back in possession now after a big bump to Chris Plum. It is number 2, Hayden Parsons with the ball. Gets by his defender, but loses the ball as well. Ball on the deck now. A few players getting after it there. A little bit of aggression out there. Chase it down. Sean Clark comes up with a ground ball, sends it upfield for Pike. Pike ahead, and that is the bell that gives us half-time here at Footscray Lacrosse Club at Angliss Reserve. We'll take a break for half-time as the scores are 6-2, Footscray leading Williamstown. And again, we've got the women's game to follow after this one. But we'll be back with second half action shortly. And we're back here in the second half. Sorry about that slight delay there. Just a few technical issues on our end. You've just missed Williamstown opening the scoring for the second half there. Josh Adossi with a great dodge from the top. Went right to left, got the feed down the line to number 12, Liam Clark, who put it top shelf over Chris Miles to bring it to 3-6. Williamstown trailing. But they've opened the scoring for the second half here. Clark wins that one clean, forward to himself, down the line, gets it to brother Liam Clark. That was Sean to Liam. Ball on the far side now, gets it behind, and it's Will Olver with it now. On to Ed Pike. Pike up to Liam. Josh Adossi with it now, on to Sean Clark. Clark dodges left to left, rolls back now to his right hand. Bouncer wide of the mark, but only just. Almost looks like it skidded a little bit. Maybe had a little bit of spin or hit a lump or something. It looked like it was good from here down the line to begin with, but then just clipped wide. Liam Clark with it now. Drops the shoulder. There's a flag on that play, maybe for a hold. Didn't look like a lot there as Chris Plum was defending, unless it was off ball, which could well have been. Josh Adossi pulling the ball away. They may get called for not continuing to attack. I say called, they may end the play for the flag now that they've gone behind as well. Ball's loose across the middle there, and I believe it is Plum who's going to be called for it. Yeah, hold is the call there. So he's just checked and then caught Clark up, I believe it was, who had the ball. So it's a 1 minute there. Bit of frustration there from Footscray. I think they didn't think there was anything in that one. As we see Williamstown go man up for the first time tonight. Gibson with it, sends it across to Adossi. Back up to Gibson now. I believe I said the first time tonight. I meant the first time this half, as that shot hits the defender in the middle. Bounces up and over, but backed up by Williamstown, who will re-attack.
I think Darren Gibson may have given him the message at halftime, Tim, start putting the ball on the cage.
Yeah,
they've come out with some intent earlier in this third quarter.
Yeah, I've always found that with lacrosse. If you can score more goals than the other team, it definitely serves in your favour. And as Ed Pike looks to put that one away, gets the late hit from Tim Lane. That shot was just high of the mark, but we're going to see Williamstown go man up again. So I think for Footscray at the moment, they've just got to make sure that they, after that weird second quarter where there was the big stop in play, got to make sure that they can continue their momentum into the second half if they want to hold this lead, because Williamstown are definitely a team who can get some motion and then just run away with a game or run themselves back into a game. So I think if you're Williamstown at the moment, you really want to try and get some possession, slow things down, make sure you're not starting out with the man down that they are, and go from there. So we'll see how it goes, but Footscray still with a comfortable lead, 6-3 early in the third, and Chris Miles not so tested as I expected in this game at the moment, but again, plenty of lacrosse left to play here tonight. And after this game, there is a women's game. We have Footscray, the reigning premiers from 2019, hosting their runner-up fellows Newport Ladies Lacrosse Club, as that one hit two pipes and bounced out. Ground ball picked up by Harry Gibson.
Yeah, it was tough to see from our angle if that snuck across. Darren Fanner, the umpire, the referee, was in a good spot, but it doesn't matter. I think that was Liam Clark swooping in.
Yeah,
there.
Ed Pike, the first shot. I'm not sure what it hit. It may have just been a defender's shoe, but it seemed to just stop dead in the middle as people were looking for it. Liam Clark found the ball, picked it up, and put it in the back of the net for Williamstown, who now trail by 2. So I think possession time is going to be a big factor now for Footscray, just in terms of containing this quick run from Williamstown. And Footscray just needs some possession here. So Aaron Aldred, the pressure's on as he's got Ron Gavori facing off against him in the centre X.
They didn't come into the game with a big squad either, Footscray, only the 12. So losing the one, it is going to impact the legs as the match wears on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just that lack of depth maybe something that comes more and more into play now that they've lost a player. So big scrap in the middle there. Neither side able to come up with it yet. A glove has come off and we've got a whistle on the play there.
Ball possession.
That's a coach killer, that one. I think we've had a Williamstown player break in the offensive end, potentially when no possession was called, after they just scrapped and Troy Butson came up with that fantastic ground ball. So we couldn't see the break, but we'll trust our referees and go with their call.
May even just be the miscommunication. Sometimes on a play like that where there's so much action on ball, if you're the off-ball umpire and there's a possession call, it's not uncommon that there's just the break is someone who heard a possession call and the umpire hasn't. Big helmet save there by Evan Willis, and that one is a boundary. Picked up now by Hayden Parsons, sends it across to Peter Quass. Tom Mollison now with the ball. He's got Lachlan Russell guarding him. Mollison gets his hands free, looks for the skip pass. It was tipped by Williamstown. Chris Plum is on the chase though. He comes up with that one. Big check up and under there, can't get it to go. Fakes the handoff over the shoulder, running in, and bounces that one home as Butson comes in for the bump. But Chris Plum is able to get that one by Willis to put Footscray up 7-4 here in the third quarter. And again, we talked about just some Footscray possession there to settle things down, and it took a big scrap of a ball and then that break on the restraining line to get Footscray possession. But once they got it, they were able to capitalise there, even after some loose ball action. So it's all happening here as we've got Aldred and Clark at the centre again. Clark wins that one forward to himself, looks for a pass to his left, it's not there, carries wide himself and gets it on to Josh Odossi now. Up the line there, Odossi now with it again. Up to Pike, onto Clark now. Clark the righty, can go either way though, one of a few players, as he puts that one away on the right, one of a few players in the comp who is similarly dangerous on both sides there if he can get that split at the top. And I think especially coming out of the face-off, if he can win it forwards to himself, he can go either way. But he uses his right hand on that one as he puts that by Chris Miles to get it back to a 2-point deficit here. 7-5 is the score. Aldred and Clark back at it now. Procedure on that one, not sure what the call was there, but before the face-off whistle had gone, I think it would be an illegal set. So Aldred's gone down and either gripped something wrong or tried something that Steve Green was not happy with. So before the face-off whistle even went, Clark gets the ball. Williamstown back on the attack now. Not what Footscray would want, as Williamstown have been building some momentum early on. Pick there. Ball sent down low, and it's behind now with Will Olver. He's guarded by Tim Lane. Liam Clark with it now. Righty dodge across the top, gets it to Odossi. Almost looked like he wanted a shot on that one. Decided against it, sends it out wide, and it's back now with Edison Pike. Bounce shot there. I think it got caught on a defender. Hard to say, though. Scraps are picked up. Shot over the goal again, though. And we're going to have Footscray ball. So the player closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds after a shot gets the ball. What I think Ed Pike just did was step on the end line before the ball was out. And that means he is then out of play. So the next closest player got it. That was someone from Footscray. So Melsop now with the ball on the clear. He's got two players with him looking to run around. Shovel pass there meant for DiNapoli. Can't get it clean. Picked up now by Williamstown. The overhead check no good. Chris Plum's follow-up though and knocks it loose and he gets the ground ball to himself. Fakes the handoff to Tom Mollison and Footscray are back on the attack. DiNapoli with the ball. Bouncer and it's good. Huge shot there by Mike DiNapoli, who has a pretty tricky release to read on that one, and he just brings that so far over his shoulder that when he pulls it all the way down, it is a tricky one to get a read on. And he definitely got the better of Evan Willis there as Footscray go up again by 3. Aldred and Gavori at the centre now, as the rather one-sided first half battle has become a goal-for-goal contest at this point. DiNapoli comes up with that ground ball. Again, as Lachlan was saying earlier, it's been a real boost for Footscray having him decide to come back to Australia as the COVID pandemic hit the world.
Definitely, and according to our numbers, he's got 4 of Footscray's 8 tonight, so worth his weight in gold at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. The former Hofstra player, he's still got that nice golden lid. Definitely stands out on the field. Hayden Parsons with the ball now. Nice roll to get away from Butson. Sends it down to Plum. Change of direction there as he tries to get his hands free behind. Gets ahead of Russell, looks to shoot, can't get it to go though. Had his hands free, just didn't quite get the angle on that one, but it's backed up behind now. Quast low angle outside the net there on the, outside I should say, of the net there. Up the line now, and Williamstown on the clear as Shea Moat carries up, gets it on to Liam Clark, who sends it behind for Pike. Williamstown on the slow break now. They've got Butson coming up the field. Pass doesn't make it the distance, but still unsettled is Footscray, and Butson down the line there, shot low and away, and it's good to go for the birthday boy. And again, it's been just back and forth this third quarter so far. And again, that low-scoring, one-sided affair of the first half has really changed gears as both sides have been running and gunning this quarter.
For sure. And just with that play, Troy Butson's been playing this game far too long and at this level for far too long to give him that much space. That's his bread and butter. If you give him that right-hand side, it's hard to pick anyone sort of in the competition that can match him for pace. And once he gets those free hands, he's a very, very tough player to stop.
Absolutely, he almost plays the transition position out of box lacrosse. He's really a bit of a ball taxi, but he's dangerous.
He has mastered that in
free.
the field game, hasn't he? Ooh.
Once he's got that run downhill, he's very hard to beat. As Pike does a sensational job there, keeping a hold of the ball to get it to safety for Williamstown. Does now, and it's with Liam Clark. But yeah, Butson is a real threat on that one. I think Footscray just a bit of a miscommunication down there. It looked like they were about to get into a clear, but then Williamstown came back up with the ball, and it was just no one got out fast enough. So not doing Miles any favours there, but Footscray are on the clear now as that pass goes to no one, and then Butson. Again, just some little errors here, and you know, with as long as we've been out of the game, it's not surprising to see those, but they've just got to make sure that they don't have too many issues there. Little check catches Adossi under the chin, and we've got a flag down there and potentially a second and third as we see 2 flags and a hat go. Very frustrated there is Jeff Melsop, I think, just trying to get the ball onto the deck after that first flag went, not allowing Adossi to go to the goal. Steve Green not happy with it though, and again, I think it was a thrown hat as opposed to just a fallen hat, so that may have been the third flag. We'll see what happens now, but Williamstown going up 2 men would be dangerous right now.
So I think we've seen two minutes there for Jordan Aldred. We've got the call coming for Jeff Melsop here. I think he's been given a 1 minute for a slash there, and I think, did I see right there, Tim, was that 2 front sportsmanlike?
That's what I was seeing, I think. That is, there's a lot going on there. Oh, another quick whistle, and we're back to the sideline. I think the bench rung the bell there just to clarify the call. I think they're not sure what's going on. But yeah, I think we've got 2 minutes for Jordan Aldred. 1 for a slash, 1 for a cross check, and then I think we've got 2 minutes, 1 for a slash, 1 for an unsportsmanlike for Melsop. Again, they are all non-releasable, so a goal will not allow them back on the field. So it could be a full 2 minutes of 2-man up for Williamstown here. So Footscray are going to be absolutely under the pump, and we'll see what happens now. 2 poles on the field for them. They've got Gillies and Lane, and then they've got Buckhorn, who traditionally plays with a long pole. And then he's got a shorty, I should say, traditionally a long pole, but he's playing shorty. And then Chris Plum on the ball. So expect them to see that backside sloughed in, but it is just going to be a pass and stretch for Williamstown, who are still in that 3-3. Skip pass up the top to Gibson. Yeah, that skip pass on the 4 zone, not always the big advantage. You see those big passing lanes, but because the defense can just move in and out almost just like a piston there, it's not the same thing. You almost want to just be spinning, and there we go. We see that cross crease. Big save by Miles, and the follow-up shot hits the pipe. Loose on the deck. Gibson with it, and gets that one to go. Coming up huge there was Chris Miles on that first save, and that second one to keep it out if he got a piece of it. But, again, just numbers at the ball as both sides were trying to chase up that loose ball in front of the goal. It was the extra numbers of Williamstown that meant Harry Gibson could come up with it.
And this is where it all hurt Footscray, Tim. My understanding is that the 2-man down, they won't be able to run any off the wing. It's just the centreman, and that's all they'll be left with.
Yeah, so Aaron Aldred is 1 on 3.
Oh, here we go. We've just seen one Footscray penalty released, I think. So
yep.
he'll have one on his right wing.
There we go. So Jordan Aldred must have been 1 minute was the penalty there. So 5 zone coming up for Footscray now, and they'll have that extra minute to go. Millsop with 1 more to serve. So Williamstown in possession. They're 1-man up, but it is a 1-point ball game now as they trail 7-8. I was going to say that was a strange-looking pass, but Josh Adossi has looked at his stick and run to the sideline. So I think something's gone wrong there, and we get the sub on as Williamstown will look to use this 1-man advantage. Ball's with Liam Clark, sends it behind for Ed Pike. Up now to Gibson. Turning the corner is Ed Pike, and as we've seen a number of times tonight already, Ed Pike gets above GLE and, like a vintage Rob Pennell, sticks that one past the goalie. And we have a tie for the first time since the opening face-off here at Angliss Reserve. We've got a timeout here, and again, it's been a big change of scene from the first half to the second, as Footscray opened up with a pretty comfortable lead, and then even went into halftime looking pretty solid still after the long delay to play. Although after halftime, Williamstown have come out and have thrown themselves a goal party, as both sides have been going for it. I think it was Williamstown called the timeout, I believe, although I'm not 100% sure. But after that goal, it could have been that if Millsop is still in the box, the timeout freezes the game clock and means that they will stay man up. Whereas during the normal running clock, if they go back for the face-off, the time it takes to get set for the face-off comes out of the penalty. And then they'd go back to even strength before the face-off is won. So this will give Williamstown the advantage on the face-off at least, depending on how long the penalty has in it. They may still be in advantage when they get into attack. Bit of a miscommunication here. Rob Buckhorn is allowed to come onto the wing, but illegal procedure means Sean Clark will just win the ball outright, and we see Williamstown still man up. Unsure how long is left on the penalty, but Josh Adossi's back out with a new stick, so hopefully this one doesn't cause any bother for him. Gibson up top with the ball now. Down the line, Ed Pike has it. Gibson onto Clark now. Up top, Sean Clark onto Liam Clark, sends it down low. Eddie Pike turns the corner, skip pass to Sean Clark, and that shot straight into the tum-tum of Robbie Buckhorn. But he is on the races to the clear as we have Chris Plum taking a knee on the sideline, which means it's 5 seconds. And oh, there we go, we're back on. So even strength now for Footscray. and Chris Plum in possession. Nice save there from Robbie Buckhorn, and I'm sure he'll be feeling that one for a few days after Clark wound up and let that one go into his midsection.
He's a tough man, Rob. He'll probably wear it as a patch of honour.
I'm sure he'll tell people that. I think
Yes.
he'll be. Yeah, I think he'd much rather not have it. But
he's a different cat, Robbie. It's
he definitely didn't lose a stride. He took that one to the stomach and then got the ground ball himself immediately after it. So well done there. As Footscray will probably look to just run the clock a little bit here, as they are back to even strength. They've just played a lot of man-down defence. I imagine that first four-man zone unit will be pretty tuckered out after that run. And the clock could be the friend of Footscray. If they can slow things down, get the momentum going their way, and just get a little bit of a roll here as Quass swims, goes left and scores. Could be a good one for Footscray. So they need some ball out of the middle. I think they need to get some wins in the face-off from Aaron Aldred, who has been up against it with the combo of Clark and Gavori. But if Footscray can get some ball and then get themselves some possession and just get things back to the pace they're happy with, again, there's still plenty of lacrosse left tonight. Just got to see what they can do with it. Aldred popped it forward, but Clark able to turn and rake for that one. Gets it his way, and Troy Butson with the ball now. Down the lane, the overhead check from Plum couldn't go. Bouncer goes high. Ed Pike collects the ball as it goes over the top, and as Adossi looks to turn and shoot, we have the end of the third quarter. Footscray lead 9-8 in what was a flurry of just swapping goals there for both of these sides. Footscray back in front by one after a few tied moments there. We'll take a quick break for three-quarter time. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here at Angliss Reserve. Referees have called 1 minute left to play before the fourth quarter starts, but the teams are heading out and we're about to have the opening face-off for the fourth and final quarter here tonight. Robbie, chin strap.
It's a good guy move, Tim. We've seen Robert Buckhorn in front of us with a loose chin strap. Don't want him to cop any...
Look, helmet safety tonight. Well, look,
it's a good
I'm
call.
Just thinking safety at the moment.
Yes.
I think everyone make sure you've got an approved helmet and it's well fitted. After what we saw earlier tonight, Aldred and Clark battling for that one, flicked loose and scooped up by Alex Pike, with Williamstown in possession now as they go up into some 6v6 offense. Again, we don't have a time for it, but after this game, we have the opening round of the Women's State League competition. We'll see Williamstown... sorry. That's the game I'm watching now. We'll see Newport and Footscray going at it in a rematch of the 2019 Grand Final, which Footscray won. And again, that will be after this game, but we don't have a start time just due to delays in this game. As Ed Pike possesses behind, looks to drive the corner, doesn't quite have enough angle. That one goes across the front. Melsop comes up with it. Bit of a walk the dog move there. Gets his stick away from the check as he crosses the midline. He's got a pole looking at him, though, as he sends it inside. DiNapoli can't get a handle on that one. Chases wide. DiNapoli is the first man there, and he comes up with a ground ball, sends it to Chris Plum, and I expect we'll slow things down now and get into some 6-on-6. Tom Mollison with the ball, and Footscray in possession there. Chris Plum with the ball up top. He's got Lachlan Russell watching him. Mollison now, he's got a short stick on him if he can capitalise.
He's been in this situation many times before, Chris Plum, but I think he's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting in this last quarter to if the Bulldogs are to steer across the line. He's a natural leader and big job ahead for him again.
Absolutely, and I think one of those players who just seems to be unfazed by whatever position in the game they're in. He's opening quarter to the fourth quarter, it sort of just seems to just do his thing and make things happen for other players. So if they can just draw some, even if they're just drawing some attention and creating for Mike DiNapoli, who's had the hot hand tonight, I think if Quass, Plum and DiNapoli can make things happen. There we go. And almost falling sideways on that one. Gets it stick side hip past Evan Willis. And I think they've just used a screen. It looked like Wombat didn't quite get a look at it as he was sort of dipping his stick and then popping back up under the ball there. But DiNapoli, just as we were saying, if they can draw some of the heat and get him with his hands free, he has been dangerous tonight.
I've been meaning to ask you earlier, Tim, coming from your goalkeeper perspective, playing under the lights here at Footscray, I have to say, training here, we're quite lucky, but how would it be goalkeeping in conditions like this?
I think goalkeeping especially, very much a case of any improvement is good. So I think practicing under different lighting or bad lighting is not is only a detriment at the time. I don't think you really get used to the bad lighting ever. Well, that's not what I found. I think lights like this, and having played under the lights at Footscray previously, I think it's one of the few grounds you can play under and really not feel like your game is being adversely affected. But it's a bit of a strange one. I think people just get used to the fact that you get light patches and dark patches on most fields. Sure. Chris Plum across the top, skip pass down to Buckhorn. Can't get it to go. Shot wide of the mark there. And Footscray back it up. Mike DiNapoli with the ball now. He's got Hugh Wilson watching him. Wilson, a veteran player. Quass now with it. Wilson and Russell seem to be the defensive core of this side, just in terms of their state league experience. And then it's a few younger guys up with them. Not that Russell isn't young. He was an alternate in the 2016 Australian under-19 side, but has been around since. Peter Quass, big BTB goal there, gets the flashy one for the highlight reel. And Evan Willis looking a bit deflated up. Williamstown face-off setup of Clark and Gavori. All right, sorry, some technical issues again there, just as we dust some rust off from the broadcast side of things. It's been a while since we've had to cover a lacrosse game here at Footscray. But again, awesome that Footscray have been able to put this on with their hosting of the first round, some Friday Night Lights action, and pretty exciting way to get everyone fired up for the start of the State League round. Everyone able to watch some games prior to their own, obviously other than these teams that are playing tonight, but I know I'm excited for my game tomorrow now after watching this one. And Footscray lead 11-9. We're in the fourth quarter here. Williamstown in possession. And we'll get going from there. Footscray just coming out of a timeout there. Still in the lead, but I think at the moment it's very much a game of clock management. Plenty of time left in the quarter. 2 points ahead as Gilly's big body presence there as he's sending Olver away. But Footscray with their lead just need to manage that. Can't let Williamstown get on a run and score a few in a row, especially as time starts to run down if they then can't get them back. So Butson trying to keep that one in play. Does so. Looks like it's Adossi now with the ball. Pops it to Butson. He heads out of field after her bump, and Williamstown keep that one in play there. Far side now, Josh Adossi with the ball. On to Butson as Adossi looks to sub off. Behind goal is Will Olver. Liam Clark with it now, gets it down to Pike. Olver with it, splits right to left, looks to feed inside to the crease, can't get it to go. Ball bounces across the front. Ed Pike will come up with it though, send it up to Troy Butson. Harry Gibson with the ball now. And Williamstown not in a rush to attack the goal at the moment, which I think they almost need to be doing, as that one goes wide of the mark. Butson gets the shot there, sweeping across the top. Backed up by Williamstown, but they've got to be just getting a few shots on goal because they need a couple, and Footscray have been doing a good job so far limiting their shot selection for the most part. As Pike looks to turn the corner, we'll see him see if he can do his move again. Gillies comes out, almost overcommits on that one, but just manages to keep things in touch, pushing Pike away and forcing that pass up the line there without allowing Pike to turn the corner and rip it, as he has done a few times tonight. Liam Clark with the ball, sends it on. Butson on the far side now. Back behind with Pike. In his left, looks to go that way now. Sends it up the line. Butson with it. Step down shot. Miles, body save there. Sounds like a chest pad. If the tuning is right, I think it was an STX maybe. And big clearing effort there. Sending it in for Millsop. Millsop down the line there, over the shoulder, and gets it to go. Nice somersault after the goal. And he is fired up as there is a flag on the play, just a push from behind. Bit of frustration there from Williamstown as Millsop gets it on the fast break. Great ball movement there from Jordan Aldred. Able to just send it infield for Millsop, who took it without having to break stride.
I'm not sure have we got a goal here, Tim? We've got one umpire's thrown a flag. Had he signalled for offside?
Oh, there we go. Maybe trailing ref may have called the offside there. So I saw a flag and what looks like a goal signal.
It could have been a Williamstown. Huh? It could have been a Williamstown offside.
Got a bell there for a question. We'll see what's going on there. Obviously, no running clock in the last minutes of the game, so that bell won't be the end of the game. I think they're just trying to work out what's going on there. Was there a penalty being served? No. So, okay, so the technical, if there was a technical and a flag, the goal wipes that. So the same way as if there's a 30-second non-personal foul in the box and a goal is scored, that player is released. If it happens in the same play, it's that same outcome there. So the flag that was thrown was negated by the goal, and we're back even strength, no changes there as Millsop takes the face-off for Footscray. Clark with the ball, and the pressure is on now for Williamstown. They need to be scoring goals consistently between here and the final bell if they're going to get this win. Footscray up by 3 and looking pretty comfortable.
Just an aside for that last play, Tim, as a fellow long stick, it was beautiful to see long stick clear the ball up the wing and then find another one running in on goal. So you don't see it too often, the long to long, but it was great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever I'm not wearing a microphone, I like to just scream "Live the dream" at people. Whenever a long stick crosses the midline, I just start yelling. And Chris Plum trip there, flag on the play, still in possession though, so they can go to the goal. DiNapoli with it now. He has been dynamite today. Can he put it away now? There we go. So stepping back over the restraining line, that'll be the end of play there, as they're considered to be no longer attacking the goal. And Footscray will go man up though. I think it's 30 seconds just for the push in the back. It's the call from Danny Whitbourne on the far side. So Footscray man up now. Aldred he hobbled off the field earlier, and I think he must have done something that he's not enjoying, because Millsop took a face off and is now out on the man up with the long stick. And again, I've had Millsop shoot on me with that long stick, and it's a nightmare. But he is dangerous on offense, so don't think it's a wasted spot out there on that man up. He is dangerous from outside with that long pole. Troy Butson looking to run the clear 1-on-2 there. They are man down. They've got to get over the line. Gets it up to Pike. Ed Pike now with the ball. And Williamstown back to even strength. Josh Adossi with the ball. Again, Williamstown really under some time pressure now. They've got to be converting in attack. They can't afford to just have long possessions. They need to be putting the ball in the back of the net, getting back. Although they do have the face-off matchup is going their way, so if they can make it and take it, they're in a good spot in that sense. But Footscray have been doing enough just to keep things their way and don't look to be slowing at the moment. Up the line now, Liam Clark with the ball, sends it inside. Big check by Gillies, shot off the pipe there, and some people like to say the pipe's as good as a save, but I think at the moment you'd take anything that's not a goal for Footscray, because again, they just need to keep that momentum and hold them out, as it's been a lot of Williamstown attack possession and a lot of run and gun for Footscray, who are starting to look tired as the game progresses. Across the back, feeding the crease there. Gibson puts it away. Gets the feed from Ed Pike. And Harry Gibson finds the inside pipe there. So it's back to a 2-point ball game. 12-10 is the score. Our clock has 6 minutes left in the game again. That may not be true to game clock, but shouldn't be too far off. So still plenty of time left. 2 points isn't anything really. It's you can get 2 points within a minute if you're quick out of a face-off, but we'll see what happens here as Melsop and Gavori go at it in the face-off here. Footscray with only one sub on the sideline at the moment. It's Hayden Parsons out there. Footscray, Williamstown still with that deep bench. So as a timeout is called there, looks like it's a green timeout. Footscray are up by 2, but I feel the momentum's just a little bit towards Williamstown, although it's still very close, and neither team is scoring at will as they were in the third quarter.
Yeah, you'd think you'd probably need one more, I think, if you're Footscray. You wouldn't be out of the woods, but I'm not sure the 12 is going to quite cut the mustard with only one fresh set of legs on the bench. It's been a pretty hard-fought game out there. I think they might just need one more to feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you play a bit of a different game. If you can get that extra goal, you can sort of just try and possess and deflate the ball a bit. But at with Williamstown able to get wins out of the face-off fairly consistently tonight, and especially now it's Melsop in the face-off and Aldred out. You don't want to risk a 2-point lead, because a 2-point turnaround is much easier than the 3-point swing. So we'll see what happens here. Footscray in the lead, though. I think we're seeing a little bit gloomy on the sideline, but I think it's just it's been such a close game, but it just feels like either side could win it at the moment, and it just feels like Footscray are holding on with their 11 guys left on the 10 on the field, 1 on the sideline. They're just keeping in it for now.
I think that might have been Footscray's final timeout as well, Tim. So they're going to have to play the rest of the next 5.5 minutes without a break on their terms.
Yeah, there you go. Great ground ball there, picked up by Williamstown as Clark comes out of the face-off with the ball. Melsop doing a good job to make it a battle, but Clark just a little bit too crafty on that one. Turning the corner is Josh Adossi, and that one trickles through the legs of Chris Miles. He got down, got a big piece of it, and I reckon it just skipped back a little bit with a little bit of backspin there. But Josh Adossi able to put that one away. Frustrating for Monster, who probably thought he had to save it first before it went between his legs. Back to the centre now, and again, as we're saying, a 2-point swing is very doable. So that quick goal, if Williamstown can get another face-off win their way, we're back to level. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Melsop pushes the ball forward. Ball still on the deck, manages to keep it loose. Gillies comes up with the ground ball. Great work there. Turns the corner. He's being chased, though, as he heads back towards the midline. Needs to get it out of his stick to safety there. Does a good job of that, just enough
as well
to keep it. DiNapoli with the ball, sent it to Plum. Plum steps in, shot, save by Evan Willis. He was well forward of the goal face there, and again, just caught it off the bounce, managed to knock it wide did a good job. Just body position on that one. I think Plum had a great look at the goal there as the defence just took a little bit too long to get out to him.
Credit to young Liam Gillies on that play as well. Kept his composure, had the 2 players after him and managed to just find the loose man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough spot to be in, especially when you're a long pole and you've got poles coming after you as quickly as they are. You definitely want to be in that one. Ground ball battle now. Players on the deck. It's Sean Clark on the floor there for Williamstown. Push in the back there, I think, will be the call as Clark goes down, but I think both sides were getting at it about the same. Often the call just goes the way that the obvious action is, so I think Clark was already on the deck there, and as he was on his knees, once he got pushed again, it was going to go get a call regardless, as both sides went after it. I think that one there, probably not giving him 5 metres. Obviously, we talked about that at the start of the game where the referees like to let you know how big 5 metres is. And I think that one there may not have had that room, but Hugh Wilson with it now, sends it up to Pike. Tom Pike with it, sends it up to brother Alex Pike, number 13. He's being chased by Tom Mollison. Moves the ball on. Ed Pike, nice shot. Great save, though, by Chris Miles. Had good position and just hit the deck, almost like a bit of butterfly technique you see in ice hockey where goalies will drop to their knees with their shins sort of flared out to the side. Miles just using his body there to make the save. Good job on that one. Williamstown in possession still. Alex Pike with the ball. Looks to dodge one-on-one against Robbie Buckhorn with the short stick. Looks to feed across crease, can't get it to go. Ball will be out of bounds. And it's going to be Footscray ball coming back.
This is an enormous possession now, Tim. This is... Footscray really need to kill some clock here and just possess the ball.
Absolutely. I think it will be... I expect Williamstown will be pushing a long way out on this one. But at the same time, Footscray can't afford a turnover, but need to maintain possession as long as possible. But not necessarily go to the goal. At this point, if they go to the goal, they go up by 2 again. But if it goes back to the face-off, Williamstown are back in the game on the face-off chance there. So we'll see what happens. Footscray in possession now. But again, I think it's all tactics for the gentleman in green at the moment. 2 Footscray players running into each other there is a bit of miscommunication or something going on. And the clear now, Williamstown on the run. Harry Gibson with it, sends it wide for Liam Clark. Clark back to Gibson. Gibson with 2 players on him. Carries wide and will look to settle things now. Ed Pike with the ball. He's got Tim Lane looking after him. Alex Pike's shot maybe deflected on the way through. Otherwise, just sort of dropped short. Not sure what happened there, but DiNapoli with the ball now. He's being watched closely as he carries up. And again, clock is the key at the moment. DiNapoli touches it in, sends it inside now. Out to Peter Quass. Quass has 2 players with him. Bit of a risky pass there.
I think there was just a little bit of panic there from Footscray. They just need to take a couple of deep breaths.
There we go. Footscray with the ball in the stick of Tom Mollison now. And I think at this point, if I was Chris Marsh, I'd be almost calling for... Not that, as Evan Willis comes up with save. I was going to say I'd get it to
I'm not sure that was the one.
I'd get it to a safe stick who's happy to just take a bit of a beating and have them run the clock out as we get a double whistle there. And Williamstown will use, I believe, their final time out of the game. And with 35 seconds on our clock, it won't be far off for the game clock. I'm not sure how long exactly, but Williamstown have the ball in their possession. They trail by 1. And maybe looking for a one last goal to level things up here. I'm sure the women's teams warming up on the far side would be not so happy to see overtime. But we'll see what Footscray can do. It's going to be all up to them in their defensive end with Chris Miles and the Footscray defence up against the high-power Williamstown offence. All right, I've just had a message. 23 seconds on the clock is what I've seen, or what I've heard, sorry. And so we will see what happens here. 23 seconds, plenty of time. I would be looking to attack straight away, make sure my shot was going wide of the mark if it's missing. Don't give Chris Miles a chance to save it, and then back up and re-attack if that's what happens. because at the moment holding possession is not enough. They need a score on this one, so we'll see what happens here. If Footscray get the ball, expect them to just run the clock out, although it will be frantic as Williamstown will look to get the ball back. Far side, and it's Alex Pike with the ball, looks to sweep across the top, up to Adossi now. Adossi to Butson. Butson thought about the step down, decides against it, heads down. Adossi with the ball, can't get a handle on it though. Going for the loose ball, Millsop stumbles, ball's up with Harry Gibson, now steps in, shot wide of the mark. But backed up by Williamstown, who will take it to the cooker immediately. No, shouldn't have been Bell there. It's not. There shouldn't be running clock in the end of the game, so whatever's happened on the sideline there is wrong. Although it'll be hard to know how much time to put back on the clock. So there was 23 seconds at the start of that last play. They burned a couple, but as soon as that shot went over the end line and the play froze, we should have stopped clock. So we're going to have one last run, and it should be enough time for Williamstown to go to the goal, I would think.
Oh, I think it would be about 2 seconds, Tim, I think.
Yeah, not long, but a pass and a shot maybe. That pass and that shot. Holy moly, we have a tie ball game here, as that one is good to go. And be absolute frustration for the Footscray side. They thought they'd done just enough. They'd celebrated the win when the bell went, and then to be told, no, you're back in and there's time for one last pass.
As a Footscray man,
frustrating.
That hurts a lot, but that's the right call in the end. We do have to stop clock for a reason, and that's the reason. It's not over until it's over. Even the 1 or 2 seconds.
Absolutely. Will be interesting to know how long is on the clock currently. Is it enough that a face-off and run could do it, or is it enough that if Millsop can tie things up in the middle, we'll see overtime action? There we go. That is the bell now. And, all right, overtime rules for those of you playing along at home. I believe they are 3-minute periods alternating, and it is golden goal from the start. So is my understanding. Again, every time I say overtime, it seems to be announced a little bit differently, and there's quite often a bit of improvisation as far as I can tell, but I believe they will retoss a coin to elect ends, and then it alternates with no break between periods of overtime. Teams just swap ends and go back, but I believe the first goal will end the game. So we'll see what happens here.
You wonder how much that little release from Footscray there could impact this overtime period. When you win a game and you think it's over, this flood of emotions flow through you, and to have that halted and you got to go back and do it again for a couple more minutes, it's going to be a tough job.
Do they play off now again? How long?
Just being asked some questions on the sidelines there. That's all right. So, yes, I absolutely agree with that, Lachlan. I think the quick flood of adrenaline at winning the game and then having to jump back in and then have the game draw almost immediately after thinking you've won. So you've got that excitement of the win, the frustration of then, no, you haven't, and now it's a tie ball game, and it's level heading here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I think at the moment, the biggest thing is going to be Footscray just need to stay composed. We've seen all night that they can get the ball, they can capitalise, they can score. They've got a number of players who can do it. They just need to make sure that quick burst of excitement and then frustration at the end of the game isn't going to be enough that Williamstown can win it forward and end the game on their own terms. So we'll see how it goes, but what a game it has been for the first round of Men's State League in Victoria for the year. We're back at it. Millsop and Clark in the centre. Millsop plays it forward to himself. The second hockey there works. Has his stick knocked loose as he goes for the ground ball. Great work there by Williamstown to come up with that one. I think just got his stick caught there on the head of the opponent's stick, did Millsop. Unable to capitalise on the ground ball, but played it forward to himself well. So it is a 4-minute period. Sorry, I lied with the 3 minutes. And Williamstown up in possession now. So it's golden goal. That was correct, though. So whoever scores the first goal ends the game. Who will be the hero for their team as Ed Pike runs up the line and gets it to Butson? Alex Pike on the far side there. He's got a short stick matchup. Wouldn't mind that, the big lefty shooter. Can't get that one to the crease, looking for Ed Pike. Ball will roll out of bounds, and it's going to be Footscray ball, I believe. Yep, was not touched. It will be Footscray ball. Melsop with it. He's got a Dossie watching him. Sends it in for Miles. Across now, Lane with the ball, looks to run up the line. Clark arrives, and Miles back with it now. Back over to Lane, who will look to draw one as we expect. There we go, Jordan Aldred will bump over the line. I think a bit of confusion there from Jordan. Wasn't sure what Lane wanted from him. Gets it now, DiNapoli with it, and illegal procedure on the green. Not sure what the call is. Possibly a substitution violation.
It would have had to have been the substitution. I kept an eye on it back here, Tim, and there was 4 that stayed. So there was definitely not offside.
Yeah,
if they call the offside, it's unfortunately a mistake. But
yeah, so not sure what's going on there. But illegal procedure. Back with Williamstown now. Frustration again. Footscray defence have been up against it for half a game now, but they've done a great job keeping themselves in it. Giving Miles some good looks at shots. He's come up with some big saves as well down the stretch as a Dossie handles now for Williamstown. Across the top now, it's Troy Butson. Guarded by Buckhorn. Step down shot wide of the mark. Couldn't get it to go. I think Butson just going through a shooting motion there. Buckhorn wasn't sure what he was doing. Put a stick out. And the check there. Bit of frustration from the two of them. Shot there by Liam Clark, and Williamstown come up with the win. Really gutsy effort there by Footscray. Couldn't get it to go in the end, but played some huge lacrosse, and they were up against it from early on with Lucas Parsons, Quintiao out in the second quarter, and then Aldred out in the third. But Williamstown able to hold on, and they get the win there. 13-12 is the final score here at Footscray Lacrosse Club. We will cut away now as we get ready to bring you the women's matchup between Newport and Footscray Lacrosse Clubs. So thank you for watching. Thank you to Footscray Lacrosse Club for putting on the opening night and having the broadcast run. Excitement for Williamstown. Bit of frustration for the Footscray men, but a great first game of lacrosse for everyone watching at home. All right, see you in a moment for the women's game.